Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I must apologize in advance, the lighting isn't very good because it's nighttime and I decided to shoot this video. So I'm just trying to use as much light as possible that I can get to brighten up my face so I don't look too dark. Yeah, so this video today I'm doing is a facts video. So I have 5 facts about the Caribbean, and the reason I decided to do this video is because one, everyone is asking me where I'm from. Like everyone on Instagram is like, where are you from? Where do you live? And I think it's probably because of my accent. I think they realize that I'm probably don't have an American accent, so they automatically know that okay, I'm not from America, and I probably don't sound probably Australian or British. So everyone's curious about where I'm from. So I am from the Caribbean, and I live in an island called Trinidad, and it's actually a twin island called Trinidad and Tobago. However, I live in Trinidad, not in Tobago, but it's like by boat it's like 2 hours away, and plane is like 20 minutes away on plane. Yeah, so it's not that far away. And yeah, so let's get straight into the video. First fact, there are more than 700 Caribbean islands. Yes, there are more than 700 Caribbean islands, and not all of them are independent. Some of them belong to a group of islands. So like Trinidad and Tobago, there are 2 islands, but they belong to one, so it's called Trinidad and Tobago. And there are other islands as well that belongs to one larger island. So there'll be like one large island that has all like the different governments and the different stuff like that, and then there'll be smaller islands which will be more like for tourist attractions and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's why there's more than 700 Caribbean islands in total. And fact number 2, the majority of the inhabitants of the Caribbean are descendants of slaves from Africa that were brought to the Caribbean during the slave trade. And also there are a lot of indentured laborers. So take for example in Trinidad, there is a large majority of Africans and a large majority of Indians and also Chinese. And after this slavery was abolished, the slave owners, they wanted more people to work on the plantations because the ex-slave didn't, they no longer wanted to work on the plantations. So what the slave master, well, the plantation owners did is that they brought people from other countries to work as indentured laborers. So they basically were paid like a really small wage. Yeah, so that's why there's a lot of Indians and Chinese that live here in Trinidad. Fact number 3. The main languages spoken in the Caribbean are Spanish, English, Dutch, Creole, and French. In Trinidad and Tobago, we speak English mainly. There are some Spanish speakers in Trinidad, but it's like a really small minority. There isn't a lot of Spanish speakers. And the reason why there's so many different languages spoken in the Caribbean is because the Caribbean islands were colonized. Colonial. Okay, during the slave trade and stuff, like we were some of the Caribbean islands were owned by the British, some were owned by the Dutch, some were owned by the Spanish. So there were different owners of the islands throughout the period of the slave trade and stuff like that. So take for instance Martinique. Martinique, they speak French, and they're not independent. They're still owned by the French because they were once a French colony. And yeah, so they speak French. And then you have like some other Caribbean islands that like I think it's Dominican Republic, and they speak Spanish because their last rule were under the Spanish authority. So you find that their dominant language would be Spanish. And yeah, so that's why there's so many different languages. And I think the French Creole and the Haitian Creole is kind of like a combination of French and African patois. Yeah, but not a lot of islands speak that Creole. But yeah, it's a popular language as well, spoken in the Caribbean. So fact number 4. Okay, so the Caribbean islands are also known as the West Indies, and the reason why we are called the West Indies is because when Christopher Columbus he actually left to go to Asia, which is the East Indies, and he got lost, so he ended up here in the Caribbean, and he thought it was the Indies, so he called it the Indies. And when he met the natives to the Caribbean islands, he called them Indians. But then when he realized that here isn't India or the East Indies, they renamed it the West Indies because we are west, we are like on the west side of India, if that makes sense. Yeah. And yeah, so that's how we are called the West Indies. And fact number 5, Trinidad and Tobago is the only country in the world that its capital is actually named after another country. So the capital of Trinidad and Tobago is called Port of Spain, because when we were under the Spanish rule, um, the Spanish used our port as their main hub, so it was named the Port of Spain. And even though we gained our independence from the Spanish, we still kept the name. So the capital city of Trinidad and Tobago is called the Port of Spain. Yeah. So those are the 5 random facts. I hope you guys really like that. So I'm just going to give you a bit of information about my country, Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad is more of an industrious working class type of country. So you find that there's a lot of buildings, there's a lot of traffic, and you know the economy is like we are heavily dependent on oil and gas. So yeah, we are an oil and gas economy. However, our tourism in Trinidad isn't that great. It does have tourism in Trinidad, but it's not like as popular as some Caribbean islands where their main focus is tourism, because that's how they build their economy off of tourism. Because Trinidad, we focus more on the oil and gas, not a lot of effort is put into tourism. However, Tobago is more of the tourism island. So you find Tobago have more lovely beaches. There's a lot of resorts in Tobago compared to Trinidad. So people who come to Trinidad, they come for more like business tourism rather than leisure tourism. And people who are interested in leisure tourism, they would go to Tobago because that's where there's a more opportunities for leisure. However, there are different like sites and different tourist attractions here in Trinidad and Tobago. And also one of the most popular tourist attraction that we have once a year is Carnival. So Carnival is celebrated, it's for 2 days, and it's like, I don't know what to say because the date changes frequently. It has something to do with the beginning of Lent. So 2 days before the beginning of the Lenten season, that's when we have our carnival. So that's why it changes, because Lent and like Easter and stuff, it's not fixed dates. So because of that, our carnival dates are not fixed also, but it's always on a Monday and a Tuesday. And on the Monday we have something called Juve, which is breaking of the dawn. So people gather on the streets from like 2 a.m. and they party straight up until the sun comes up. And then on Carnival Tuesday, people wear lots of costumes, fancy costumes and stuff, and they parade the streets of the city. And yeah, it's a really fun festival, and there's a lot of like parties and stuff that take place around the carnival season. Yeah, so if you're interested in visiting Trinidad for the carnival, you should definitely come. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys today, because I didn't know what to shoot today and I didn't want to do another makeup video. So I decided since everyone is asking me where I'm from, I thought I'll do this video for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, don't forget to thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you again. Bye. So the first facts are, there are more than 700 Caribbean islands. Yeah, so, oh my god. Cut. Okay, so first fact is yeah, so the first fact is there are 700